Puli Thevar was a poligar who ruled Nerkattumseval, situated in the Sankarankoil taluk, Tirunelveli Tamil Nadu. History. Puli Thevar was one of the earliest opponents of the British rule in India. He was involved in a vendetta with the Nawab of Arcot, who was supported by the British. Thevar's prominent exploits were his confrontations with Maradana Yagam, who later rebelled against the British in the late 1750s and early 1760s. Nerkattumseval was the headquarters of Puli Thevar, the first chieftain in India to resist the British. The author of the Tirunelveli district gazetteer, H.R. Pate, observes as follows: Nerkattumseval is chiefly memorable as having been in the 18th century stronghold of the redoubtable Puli Thevar, who figured for many years as the leader of the Mirava Confederacy against the troops of the Nawab and the company. He had a shrewd insight into the political situation of the time and was a veritable thorn against the side of the Nawab's agents. Puli Thevar remains one of the illustrious figures in the checkered history of Politic eras. The vivacity of his character gave him an ascendancy over the Western Politic eras, while his determined resistance to the Nawab's overlordship made him a potential enemy of the Wallages. He was the principal architect of the coalition of the Poligas organized against the Nawab. The Nawab acknowledged his victory by presenting him with a gold plate and sword. Puli Thevar War. There were a number of revolts by local powers in the south, the first being as early as 1757. When Muhammad Ali, the Nawab of the Carnatic, supported by the company, attempted to extend his control over the Maduri and Tirunelveli districts, the Poligars rebelled. The Western Poligars, led by Puli Thevar of Nerkattumseval, forged individual alliances and then a grand alliance as they revolted against Muhammad Ali. Of necessity, Ali had to seek assistance from John Company, and, though battles were won and lost, the revolt was put down in 1761 by Yusuf Khan, who had been nominated the governor of Maduri and Tirunelveli in 1758 by the British, despite Nawab Muhammad Ali's objections. Western Confederacy by Nerkattumseval. Nerkattumseval literally translates to rice tribute-paying place, but after its ruler Puli Thevar's successful attempts at defying Muhammad Ali, the name changed to Nerkattumseval. These Palayams declared their independence in 1757. Yusuf Khan, or Maradana Yagam, was sent by the British to bring the Poligars under control and make them pay Kathi. Earlier campaigns in 1755 by Mahfuz Khan were unsuccessful in subduing the Poligars, partly because of the sticking to each other and partly because British troops had to be withdrawn to raise the French siege of Madras. Yusuf Khan quickly intimidated the eastern Poligars and moved against Puli Thevar. A series of sieges of Puli Thevar's forts followed, and eventually the Nerkattumseval fort was razed by British artillery. Puli Thevar was captured and escaped, encountered on the way to incarceration. No verifiable records are found about him after his capture-escape. The rise of the Western Poligars of South Tamil Nadu was the first war against the British and not the 1857 Sepoy uprising, as written by Savarkar.